Welcome to Squirrel, the podcast for distracted writers, hosted by Candace J. Thomas and Jody L. Milner. Hey everybody, welcome to Squirrel. This is Jody.
This is Candace.
And I just caught you drinking. I'm so sorry. We can try that again.
Ooh, fine.
So this is the...
Oh, you're keeping this. Okay, we're good. No, we can keep it.
This is the 48th episode of season 2.
Yeah.
And we have decided that this is going to be the end of our season.
Da, da, da. We can't fit to 50. We did it 50 last year, but there are just things in our life that are in the way.
I know, but trying to get to a perfect 100 episodes,
I know.
It makes my brain itch.
Yep.
But 98 sounds pretty dang good, too.
That's still
I'm pretty
amazing.
happy with that. So, I mean, this season's been crazy, though. We've talked about everything from cats to poetry, from fae folk to character phobias. And in total, we've written, produced, edited, and published, like with both seasons together, 98 episodes total. And it's been a wild ride.
Yeah.
And so this episode, we are devoting to the crazy random things we've learned during the process of both seasons. Because I think it's kind of a cumulative learning process. And then we will bring season 2 to a close.
Yeah.
So
there's still I can't believe that I'm just saying this right now. I can't believe we produced an episode every week. Like that is
for the better part of 2 years. It was every week. Without fail.
So much stuff. Yeah, we never missed it.
We got to take our summer breaks because
we got to take
the
2-week break. But then we were right back into the studio and doing stuff. So I think that's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of we talked about a lot of stuff.
A lot of topics.
So all y'all got
table.
Plenty of things to, go back to. So, yes.
Like I say, if you've joined us later in our stuff, listen to the early episodes.
Oh, they're so funny.
They are super funny.
We weren't even getting into our strive yet. So I was like, what is happening? So, yeah.
We were very rigid.
What was your favorite episodes?
Honestly, the alcohol episode was pretty good.
Alcohol episode.
That was
so fun.
One of the highlights, I think. Yeah. That was the middle of season 1.
Yes, around December.
Yeah.
You did
It was teetotaling for the non-drinker. For
the teetotaler, it was,
alcoholic beverages for the
teetotaler. Because
so that was a fun one.
That one was awesome.
How about you?
I love the kissing episode. That was from last year. The kissing episode was amazing and really uncomfortable.
Yeah, getting you to talk about kissing is a whole different.
What about this season? Those are both from last season.
Those are both from season 1. This season, we had a bunch of fun ones, but they're all kind of melding together for me right now. I actually have every single paper of this season in my folder.
Oh, you seriously do?
Yeah, I don't get rid of them.
Oh, no, I toss them right after we're done recording.
Yeah, most of them are still in that garbage can.
Yeah, they're still in the garbage next to me.
We have writing chemistry, building authentic relationships, fantasy versus romantasy. That was a fun one.
Oh, that one was fun.
Falling back in love with your work in progress. Color theory was this year.
Oh, color theory.
Wow. Writing holiday stories without cliches. Politics in fantasy fiction.
Oh my gosh.
This has been one hell.
Oh heavens, that's right after the election, right?
Yeah, we had to actually change our podcast because we couldn't face reality.
I was going to do, what was it? Dystopia. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I was like, I do not want to do that.
No. Pluvia Files.
Oh, Pluvia
Files was
that was the rain one. It was so
all about
fun.
Rain.
So much fun.
Star Wars. Fantasy versus sci-fi.
That one was my favorite.
That one was a good one.
That one was my favorite.
We have a whole one on audiobooks. We did a lot this season. That's our season intro. I just got to season 1.
Wow, that's incredible. Cats. Because why not?
Fairy Tales the Morning After, where we did alternate endings to fairy tales.
That one was a really fun one too.
Because we did a whole unit on fairy tale retellings. We did I already said characters with phobias. 10 things you can do to improve your creative life. That's one of my BuzzFeed ones. Let's just find a generic topic and talk about it. Anyway,
I loved
we did some really good ones.
I loved it.
All right. So we each came up with three things that we either learned about podcasting or ourselves during the course of learning how to podcast. Yep. And I was going to start this one off, and this is going to come as no surprise to anyone. I have turned into an audio quality snob. Oh my gosh, it has gotten so bad because I listen to podcasts. Like, I do hours and hours of listening to podcasts a week. And the more that I learned about how to edit audio, and I know I'm not perfect at it, but I'd like to say I've gotten pretty good.
Yeah, I think so.
The more I notice where other shows are not taking the same steps. And so, like, not trimming really long pauses, like really long silences, or having phones that go off and beep. Or having, like, there was one that has, like, people opening and closing kitchen cabinets in the background. I'm like, you're like a Vox podcast. Knock it off. What are you doing? And then when I'm a guest on these ones and the host is just like using the mic that comes with their laptop.
Oh, no.
And they're like, every time they touch the table, you can hear them touching their computer. And it's like sometimes there's feedback because they don't have headphones on, so the speaker's on. I'm just like, how long have you been podcasting? 10 years. I'm like, what? How are you not learning? Evolve. So I know I've turned into a huge snob about it. And so whenever I see it where someone could do like something so simple as just putting on a pair of headphones to avoid feedback, it's just like I want to shake them a little bit and be like, let me show you the way. Not like I'm an expert, because I know there's a billion things I haven't learned yet. But at the same time, some of them are so easy. How about you?
I can totally do voiceovers now. Because I think it's weird to hear your own voice.
It is.
Right?
So much.
So we'll be listening back to the episodes and I'll hear my voice and go, do I really sound like that? And it's been really strange, but I have grown confidence in doing voiceover work. The thing is, at my work, they needed some narration for video. And so somebody in the work knew I had a podcast or knew I'd done some voice work. And so he asked me to come into the studio. And I was totally comfortable in there. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And I read it and I did. And then in my department, they were watching this video that I had voiced. And they're like, wait, they didn't know it was me that voiced this whole video. And I was like, yeah, that's me. And so I've gotten a chance to do other things. But one of the things that I had never had a lot of confidence in is voicing my own work. Like I have other people read my books. I don't want to do that. But there is a poetry book that I feel I would like to narrate. And I've never had the confidence to do it. But I think now that we've done this podcast and it's become so natural to work on a mic and to know how specific things sound and my own
your weird vocal tics.
Yes, thank you.
You've got weird vocal tics.
I do. And I'm
Candy
recognizing
is a clicker.
them. I don't know why my tongue clicks. I don't know why it does that, but yeah, I think I just clicked right there. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's what I think that I've learned first of all is that I've grown confidence in doing.
Yeah, I'm no longer weirded out about doing anything that's like video or audio of myself. Yeah. Like I used to be super self-conscious about it, and now I'm just like, okay, yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all good.
Okay, next one.
This is kind of a weird meta-ish one, because sometimes we'll talk about like episodes we want to do, and sometimes it sounds like a really cool idea. I'm like, oh my gosh, I would love to jump on that. And then while you're trying to research it, you find there's really not much there. And you're like, no, I've kind of committed to the topic.
Right?
And so it's like, how do I make this a meaningful conversation? And so sometimes these really cool ideas have been the ones that are the most challenging to talk about.
Yeah.
Or the most awkward, or they're a little bit too meta, or they're a little bit too focused, where there's just not enough discussable items with them. Or it could be that, like, I feel like I understand it, but I can't explain it. And so I feel really bad because Kenny's like, I'm not sure what you mean for this entire concept.
I was like,
and it goes both ways.
I'm trying to get where you're going. And then we'll start recording. I'm like, okay, I'm getting a sense of what this is about and where we're going with this.
Because we've both done it where we've had this really cool idea and we're really excited about it. And the other person's just like, I don't know.
I don't even understand.
I don't get it.
Like something I'm really comfortable with and you have no idea about.
Yeah. Thank you for how many poetry episodes now?
You're an expert.
I am becoming one.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to learn new things and I'm not afraid to research. And I've done a lot of research. So, sometimes the best sounding topics are the hardest to talk about.
Yeah, very good. I learned, and this is a failing of mine. I do not like using platforms that I personally am not on or used to. That is true. And I feel like I've failed Jody like so many times because I am not good at TikTok. I'm not. And I've tried. But like, I think one of our biggest successes has been our TikTok following, to be honest. And I feel I've really tried to like the platform, but I'm not one of those instant media people. I don't like reels. I don't like watching that kind of stuff. It just doesn't interest me. I spend a lot of time on Sudoku. My brain needs to relax, and by watching constant streaming like that, it does not relax. It gets a little bit more messed up. So, first of all, props to Jody for doing all of the awesome stuff with TikTok.
It took like 7 months to figure out how to do a decent video, but here we are.
Yeah, she's just rocking it. So she just put in so much effort to all those reels, and they're just really fun, and they're very informative, and they got the cute little music, and her hair is always like gorgeous in all of the videos.
Except for the ones where I've given up and it's tied behind my head because it's just like, no, I will not let Medusa out.
Yeah. So I didn't realize that it was going to be so hard for me. It just takes a lot of time, and time is just something I don't ever have. So my reels will usually come from my car when I'm on my way to work, or because I want to do, I don't have a specific place in my house that looks good. It's hard. So thank you, Jody, for making that so much fun. And I'm much more comfortable with Instagram, even though I know they have reels on Instagram and whatever, but that feels more my wheelhouse. I feel more comfortable. I think that might be just my generation talking, but I feel more comfortable there. Anyway, that's what I learned. I'm not good at TikTok.
Okay.
Which has nothing to do with podcast, but
you got to experiment with it and learn how much you didn't like it. That's
valuable. You learn. You do it and you learn. So anyway.
All right. One of the big things I learned, and I think this is true for picking up anything new and having an assumption that's not necessarily true, is that there's no guarantee of success. Like, it's really easy to pick up a book or listen to a podcast or even like listen to a new song on the radio and be like, I can do that. I mean, yes, you can. You can make a book. You can make a podcast. You can create a song. But making it successful is a different story. And so it comes down to being willing to learn about all the different bits and pieces and being brave to put them all together and just keep on trying. Just like with writing books, there's really no automatic success. There's no magic ticket. Every listener that we've managed to attract, every single one of you, we love you, by the way.
We sure do.
It's a result of either networking, so they're people that we actually know in person, or people that we have found through our marketing efforts.
Yeah.
Just like writing book, podcasting is something you should do because you love creating things and not because you want to do it to generate any form of additional income for yourself or fame or prestige. Do it because you think it's fun.
A lot of the times when we try things, the goal is to get people to buy your books. And that was one of the things that at the beginning I hoped would happen, right? But that never translated into sales. It was all about grabbing writers, not readers. It's about grabbing the writers.
It's a different audience.
Completely different audience, and inspiring those people to do.
Now, if we created a squirrel's guide to thing about fiction, then yes, maybe in the future we'd bandied the idea of it.
We discussed that when we first were starting this, as like we could probably come up with some pretty spanking cool books. So we'll see. We'll see if that happens.
It's not
everyone.
off the table. It's just not on it.
It's not currently on.
It's on a shelf with all the other cool ideas.
Yes, it's next to all the pop figures.
There you go.
Okay, my last thing to say is this sounds so dumb, but it's just another thing that people will not believe that we did. You know what I mean? Sometimes I forget that we write books and multiple books, but it's one of these goals that you reach for and you did. Like I've written a bunch of books. The podcast is the same way. Like I just can't believe we did it. And we did it for 2 years, and it was an experiment that we really didn't know how it was going to go. And we didn't know anything about ourselves, how we would interact with doing it. We didn't know anything about studio recording. And that was that first couple of months there really opened our eyes on what we were doing and how much we were spending and all those things. So I think that this episode, we got to 98, not quite 100, but that's okay. We're okay with 98,
it's a rounding
right?
error at that point. It's still an A grade. 98%.
Yeah, we just
awesome.
don't have the spoons for
It's still awesome.
2 more, but it's really fun. It's been really fun to listen to. Do you listen to it on Mondays when it comes out?
Yeah.
I always try to listen to it again.
I'll catch it while I'm doing chores.
Yeah, it's usually on my commute. I'll just put it on just to see how it sounds. And it's just so much fun.
I can't remember when we started adding outtakes, but I have one.
I want to say we started at the beginning.
Well, I think it's because our original sound designer would slip them in.
That's right.
And then when I took over that position, I'm like, I do like these. These are fun.
It's been something that people have waited for. You know, I've heard people love the outtakes. So we've got plenty of material. So much. We could build the last 2 episodes of just outtakes. Just saying.
What possibly? Yes.
We can do it. Anyway, I feel this has been really fun. This is a snapshot of us learning and growing in our community and in our own craft. Yeah, it's a snapshot of us learning and growing in our own community and in our own craft. And it's a part of us, right? It's really made both Jody and I grow as friends and as co-hosts. And I think that we both understand each other way better. We know each other way better now than we did when we started 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to.
When you're in a room.
When you're in a cute, tiny room. Talking about the weird inner workings of your mind as you try to create fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just this, we will have this little time capsule of writing advice that you can always go back to. And I think it can help so many people. It will be one of the things that I think it'll show up on my resume, that I was in a podcast, because it's just another wonderful thing that I can add to my experience and how I can share more about it, about doing the whole experience. So
It's a lovely feather in your cap.
yeah. So
So
anyway.
yeah, I mean, this has been crazy fun. And so I think it's kind of it's surreal to bring another season to a close.
I don't know what to say. I'm sad that this season is coming to a close. I'm excited about the things that we get to move toward in our future. I know that we planned on doing a little bit of a hiatus before season 3 if we can manage to get into season 3.
So the official announcement, and this isn't really official because we haven't decided anything. Nothing has been written in stone.
Yes.
But Squirrel will be taking a hiatus of an unknown duration until things feel right enough again with what's going on with our writing careers to bring a season 3 into creation.
We hope we can. It just takes so much time and effort, and we have a couple of big things coming up. So we just need to put a little brakes on this specific project for the time being, and then we'll see what the future holds for us.
Our website will still stay up. Our social media will stay up. If we do random stuff, we will put it on social media together just because we like doing it.
Yeah, the Squirrely Girls aren't going away.
No,
we're still here. And we'll still be doing stuff, but we just won't have constant product coming out. Constant episodes.
It's a product
coming out on every Monday. So, and that's okay. We'll be over. Got lots of material to go back to.
So if you're going to do a listener assignment, you can tell us what your favorite episodes were. We would love to hear from you.
I would love to hear that.
That would be awesome. And your other assignment is keep on being cool and making good things.
Yes.
Do the work. Button chair.
Hands
on
do
keyboard.
Hard things.
Typing away madly.
All right. Well,
all right. I think this is so long for now.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Squirrel Podcast for the Distracted Writer with Candace J. Thomas and Jody L. Milner. Please like and subscribe to our podcast for updates and new episodes, and find more information at our website, squirrelpodcast.com. Stay distracted, everyone.
I don't know how unhinged we want to be.
They like it when we're unhinged.
It is funner that way.
So, okay. What's the word?
Elocution?
My own. That's not the word. I lost my train of thought completely.
It was a good train, too.
Dang it.
Go bring that train back.
Ugh.